What if I told you you aren't prepared? You just aren't. Most of us aren't, but it happens to the best of us. Let's talk about it though. You see, sometimes we accomplish something. Sometimes we accomplish a great big something. Sometimes we've worked and worked to get somewhere. We arrive and we aren't done yet. Yes, let's chat about that. Hi, I am Leslie. And if we haven't met yet, good to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. A little bit about my backstory is I picked up and left as a 50 something woman, sold all my things, hugged people goodbye, got on a plane, headed for Reykjavik. Do you know where that is? Headed for Iceland, and with me were 2 carry on bags and a one-way ticket. I had planned, I had organized, I had dreamt, I had arrived, I had completed something that was huge. My life was about to change, and I really had no idea how much, but it was. And yet, when I got on that Icelandair flight, got my bottle of Icelandic water, yay, sat in my seat. Oh my goodness, my first time beyond North America. Yes. I still wasn't done. As excited as I was, as relieved to have all of that behind me that I'd already accomplished, I wasn't done yet. And so here's what happens to us. You see, we get to a point where something big has been accomplished. Oh, we did it. Then what? Now comes the hard part. So it's not what we think, right? We think we got there. Okay, done and dusted. Let's move on. No, here's where the real work comes in. If you recall, last time we chatted, I shared with you about part of my life was spent in South Africa and living outside Cape Town and going with some of my students to hike up Table Mountain. Now, if you've never heard of it, you need to look it up. It's a beautiful place. And I chatted about the fact that once I arrived up there after a grueling few hours of scrambling up the side of this mountain, I was done. I was done in lots of ways, but I had accomplished it. I made it, and I was still not done because I had somewhere else to get to before I could rest. And that place? The cable car office. Yes, if you look up Table Mountain, you might also see they have a cool little cable car. 5 minutes up, 5 minutes down. And that's where I was headed. I had to get my ticket to get down off that mountain. I made it up, and that was enough of an accomplishment for more than the day. And so I still wasn't done. I had to get that. I also still wasn't done because later in the day, my legs were wobbly. I got home and was just exhausted. I had to kind of process, what had I just done? Wow. Do I want to do that again? Did I feel confident? Was I excited? Did that build up my confidence? All these kinds of questions. So I really wasn't done, even though on the outside I was done. So that's one thing to be ready for, because after the excitement fades, after the tape gets burst through and you've made it through the finish line, now comes some real hard work. You're going to grow after you accomplish it in ways that you maybe didn't expect. So things are going to pop up. You're going to face different challenges. You're going to be disappointed that it's over, or even though you're glad it's over, you're going to wonder now what. There's going to be a lot of emotion. So expect that in case you didn't, in case you haven't thought about that. Another thing to think about after a big accomplishment, our greatest growth, our greatest changes are waiting for us on the other side of that finish line. So we finish and we struggle and we kind of are wrapping our head around finishing, especially if it's a big thing. But be encouraged because that's part of the process. And then you start recognizing there's more to do. And I'm still growing and I'm still learning. And this is kind of exciting. So we can encourage ourselves and build our confidence. Then, one last thing, please expect it's going to be hard. That's a good thing. See, we're not designed for comfort. Yes, we rest. Yes, we recover. Absolutely. But we're made to then push ahead. And so expect the accomplishment, the aftermath to also be hard. Because then what? Do you stop growing? Do you stop pushing? Not a good choice. No, you need to keep pressing because our growth and even our joy is found on the other side of challenge. Discomfort and joy and stamina and resilience, they don't usually go together. If you're comfortable, you're probably not going to be as bold as you could be. If you are only going to stick where it's familiar and safe, the shallow end, you're not going to experience the deep water of excitement, the diving board, the waves. So expect it to be hard and expect that that's good for you. Don't shrink away. Invite it. Invite it as a welcome guest. So hard things that are good for you, welcome them. So here are just a few things that I've learned. I've learned about recognizing the accomplishments that you look forward to finishing are going to fade. That's part of the process. And another thing, there's going to be growth after. So anticipate that and expect it's going to be hard and welcome the challenge as an opportunity for you to grow and get stronger in character, in mind, and body. And it's a good thing. Here are just some of the things I've learned as I've lived all over the world, as I've guided folks in places like South Africa, as I've guided people in Berlin, in Tokyo, in Moscow, lots of places. And as I've done those things, it's because it started with some curiosity, with some wonder about what's next, what's out there, who could I meet? So my final word to you is don't quit wondering and being curious. That will lead you to try new things, to build your confidence. And when that happens, you're going to find your courage will also grow. You'll get bolder and you'll look back and think, wow, I really did that. And you start the cycle over again and you get curious about other things and you get wondering. So I ask that you today let yourself get lost. Get lost in wonder, not in fear, not in panic, not in discomfort. Get lost in wonder. See what's next. Grow in curiosity. Build your confidence, build your courage, and I'll look for you next time.